All right, everyone, welcome back to another 5-Minute Friday. That's where we take on an idea and we try to discuss it, have some kind of discourse on it. We'll discuss an idea or a topic in 5 minutes or less. Today's topic is going to be a really hard topic to tackle in 5 minutes, so I'm going to give it my best. I don't always succeed on these. I usually cut it pretty close within 30 seconds or so. I'm going to do the best I can to keep these videos brief but informative. Today's topic is, do we have a right to abortion? So that's something we hear thrown around a lot, and we're going to take a look at it. First of all, I'd like to say that if you've had an abortion, I don't judge you in any kind of way. Do I think it's wrong? Yes. Do I think you're a horrible person? No. I don't know why you got your abortion, but there is nothing that you can't do that God can't forgive you for. And I don't think I'm one bit better than you. My sins were just as egregious, maybe even worse. And I'm just so thankful that God can forgive and is willing to forgive anything that we do. You are still a valuable person. You're still valuable in my eyes, and you're still valuable in God's eyes. So this is not meant to be an attack on anybody who has had an abortion before. I think the first step, instead of just trying to accept that, or trying to fight and convince everyone that abortion is right, I think that the correct thing to do is to now admit that it was wrong and then seek that forgiveness for it. Start the healing. So let's get started. First of all, we have to determine what is a right. It's a moral or legal entitlement to obtain, have, or act in a certain way. So I'm going to start off looking at this from the Christian perspective. I am a Christian. God makes it pretty abundantly clear in His Word that it is wrong to murder humans. So what we have to do is we have to establish, when do we become humans? At what point in the whole pregnancy process does a person become a human? Whenever an egg is fertilized, I'm going to argue that as soon as you have a zygote formed, you have a genetically distinct human being, okay? So this thing is now a human. It has its own distinct set of genetics, and if left alone, will be a completely viable, functioning human who is unique and precious, okay? So already all the elements are there. The only difference between me and a zygote is level of development, age, location, and the level of dependence. Let's first take a look at dependence and location. No one or nowhere else do I think anyone, or have I ever heard a good argument for killing based on location. So right now it's okay to kill a baby inside the womb, but it's not okay to kill one outside of the womb. And the distinction here, if it's by location, it's the same as if a child's in a bedroom and I can't see that child, then it is okay to take that child's life. Can I then execute it if I no longer want it for a myriad of reasons? I don't think I know anyone who would agree to that, and I think they would think that's quite foolish. But I don't see the difference between uterus walls and, sheetrock walls. So we'll also now look at level of dependence. Infants who are already born, they're just as dependent on adults or their parents as the baby inside the womb. And we almost all agree that you can't kill a child that is already born just because it depends on its mother to feed it and take care of it and keep it from getting diseases and every other thing. Now we'll move on to level of development, and that can be physical or mental. Let's look at the mental development. So a good analogy that I think works really well is if you can say that it's okay to terminate a pregnancy, it's okay to terminate a baby because that baby isn't as self-aware and doesn't have the same cognitive abilities as, an adult or maybe like a 6-year-old. So it's okay, they're not really human. What about coma patient? So if you had a coma patient that we know after 9 months, this coma patient is going to recover, he's going to wake up, and this coma patient is going to slowly recover and gain all mental capabilities back. Is it okay to kill that coma patient because at the moment they're not as mentally capable as some other people? No, obviously not. It's not okay. Well, that's the same circumstance you have. You have a fully distinct genetically distinct human that will come out in 9 months and will grow to full capability. To take it a step further, there are some people that will never develop past the toddler stage. Is it okay to kill people with mental deficiencies or mentally disabled people? Of course not. You want to treat those people with kindness and respect and dignity, right? You don't want to execute them. But if you did, where would you draw the line? How smart would a person have to be? How mentally developed would a person have to be? Where do you draw that line exactly? You know this much and are just cut off, well, you didn't know that one thing. IQ just 1.2 low. Dead. Where do you draw that line? There is nowhere to draw that line. It's not that black and white. Let's move on to age. We already established that infanticide is wrong according to most people. A baby out of the womb is hardly more cognizant and self-aware than a baby in the womb. It's not okay to kill the baby outside the womb, but is it okay to kill one that's a few months younger? I can't think of any justifiable reason to kill someone just based on their age. Is it okay to kill the elderly when they're in mental decline? Can we kill people based on their age? Of course not. That's not a justifiable reason. God gives us no right to kill for those reasons. And I think most people would agree, even if they don't believe in God, that is not a sufficient reason to kill someone. Now, what if you say there is no God? With no God, there is no right and wrong. Your opinion, or my opinion, is no more valid than anyone else's opinion. It simply has no foundation. So what makes you correct? If someone wants to steal things and it's right in their eyes, why not? If someone wants to rape and it's right in their eyes, how dare you deprive them of what they want? If you decide it's right to kill based on any of these reasons above, what if they decide it's right to kill you? Who's to stop them? Who's to say it's wrong? They think it's right, you think it's wrong. It's your word against theirs. Who's right? Why should we punish them? How can we prove that it's wrong? And don't give me that it's wrong to hurt others, your rights, infringing on other people's rights. That's all, again, based on God's moral code. That person may not believe that. That person might believe survival of the fittest. Maybe that's the way the world works. Maybe the world works on evolution. And so, if this person's bigger than you, and stronger than you, and has the ability to take what they want from you, maybe that is their right. Under what authority do you say they're wrong? God is the objective standard. Without Him, who is right, who is wrong, no one can know. And no one can set any law without a firm foundation. Then that brings us to the question, who is bestowing these rights? If you think that's the government, then founded on what? I would refer back to the previous argument. But also, how could anyone disagree or have anything to say about the new Texas ruling whenever the government gave you those rights? Why can't the government take them back? The government has that authority. If they gave them to you, then they can take them away. And if that's what you mean by rights, then rights are worthless and meaningless. I'll end with this. There is no right to abortion in the Constitution. The Supreme Court ruling on Roe v. Wade is not constitutional. They get the right from abortion, they say, from the right to privacy. But there is no right to privacy in the Constitution. This is an unconstitutional decision. So I would say no. We don't have the right to kill based on age, location, level of development, or level of dependence. This wraps this video up. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a very complex topic, and maybe I'll do more videos on this in the future. Feel free to leave a comment that disagrees with me or agrees with me in the comment section. And I would love to, continue this discussion. I plan to do more videos on abortion in the future. This latest Texas ruling and law that was passed, I felt like it was a good time. It's probably on a lot of people's minds. It's a good time to talk about abortion.